What's up guys, it's your boy, back at you with another video. Today's video is pretty specific actually, because me and a friend have been banging our head against a brick wall for like literally 12 hours. So I just wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to battle this problem. And if you haven't read the title already, this is basically, I'm going to show you how to set up Azure Devops through to your Unreal using GitHub desktop, so you can basically submit changes from GitHub, submit changes from your project, your Unreal game project. It's going to pop up in here, and then from here you're going to submit those changes through to Azure Devops. So this tutorial, you need to set up an Azure account, you need to download GitHub desktop, and you need to get Git bash. Those are the three things you're going to need to be able to submit changes and work alongside a friend. So you're basically going to be able to submit changes onto a website where your friend can download those changes, and vice versa, so you can both work on the same project. So I've filmed this tutorial 3 times over because I keep rambling on too much. So I'm going to try and make this one efficient and explain it as best I can. And I'm getting a bit more knowledge each time I do this tutorial as well. So I've been trying to use GitHub for a while, and I keep getting hit with like file size errors, basically saying you can't upload a 100 megabyte file or something like that. And I was like, well, this is mad. How am I supposed to work with someone? So we found Azure Devops, and it doesn't seem to be the case on here. So I'm going to show you how to set this up now. So first thing you want to do, guys, is go to new project on Azure. And we're going to keep this all in game terminology so everything makes sense. So imagine you're at this point, we're making it now, we're about to work with our friend, and we need to get everything set up. So we're going to make a project called Horror Game. So it's a horror game, it's on private, it doesn't matter which one of these you choose, to be honest. We'll choose private, and we're going to leave these settings here as they are. Is all this does here is change like the layout of this, almost like changing the layout on Unreal or on like Photoshop or something. You can change your workspace layout. So then we're going to click create. It's going to create the project, of course. Once this is done, now we're on here, you can click on repos down here, this is where everything's going to go, like all your changes and stuff between you and your friends. You're gonna click, oh god, you're gonna click initialize here, and that's gonna add the first change to this. So it's just added a readme file which can be edited. Okay, so that's done. So now we've got our repository open and active. Now we're gonna make a game, or you're going to open the game that you want to back up or just submit to the website so you and your friend can also, imagine you've got the game file, you want to submit it to Azure so your friend can download the files and you can begin working together and making changes together. So that's what we're doing. So let's make a new game, or I'm making a new game called Horror Game. And we'll just press create, wait for this to load. Okay, so we've got Unreal open now. So the first thing we want to do is come down here to connect revision control. We're going to choose Git beta version, and then in this bit here we're going to go back through to Azure up to clone in this repos section. If you've clicked off it, it's in here. It's this URL here. This is like the link to your Azure. And I'm assuming other versions of Azure and GitHub and stuff have links like this. So if you have another website you use, and you can probably link it just by doing this. So we come back through to Unreal, and we're going to put this in here like that. Now I want to drag this to the side real quick because I want to show you what happens. So in your Unreal project somewhere on your computer, it's going to have all your games that you've made. If you find the one we're working on now and double click it, this is basically when we press revision control, and initialize it here with git, is going to put a visible folder in here called git. And that git folder is like a special folder for some reason on computers, and wherever that git folder is, it's basically going to allow you to like back up that whole folder somewhere. You're going to be able to like copy it and then paste it to wherever you want. So that's basically what a git folder does. So when we do this now, you want to add this one as well, sorry, because this is gonna basically, you need this here for some reason. So initialize the project with git after you've done that, then let it do its thing. You see an invisible folder popped up here. It added git attributes and git ignore. So now once that's done, you press accept settings here. So basically it's made a repository now. This is the repository. So we can copy everything that's in this horror game folder with a few commands if we wanted to. But we want to do it through GitHub Desktop without having to do commands. So now we've got that done. Now we've got GitHub Desktop. And in GitHub Desktop, we're going to add an existing repository. Now, we was making a mistake before. We was cloning a repository like this and putting this URL that we just put in Unreal, we was putting it in here again like this. The problem is when you do that, it makes another Git file inside here after you've just like done the revision control down here. So it ends up confused and you end up submitting changes and it's going to one Git file that isn't linked here, and it just messes up. So you want to make sure that you add an existing repository here. So you choose this, and you want to choose this same folder here, the horror game. So in Unreal Projects, double click once, horror game, select folder and add repository. We're going to initialize git lfs. So now essentially this is linked through from from Unreal to here, and because we put the address of the URL from here, we're actually linked through to here as well. So on this initial commit is just what we committed from here. Sorry, that's what we just submitted from here. So now guys, in theory it's hooked up both ways. There's a couple things we need to do so that when we submit these changes it works. So now we want to open okay, so you want to click here back through to Unreal Projects, and you're going to want to right click on your horror game. I'm going to show you two ways to quickly just get through to this stage. So you can right click and git bash here, and it's going to bring this up ready to initialize a couple things. Or in theory you can git bash, and instead of right clicking that, if you can't find it, you can put cd with these little commas. Well, not if you couldn't find this file, because if you couldn't find it you wouldn't be able to copy this. But for some reason, if you didn't want to right click here, which is quicker, I don't know, like if you just wanted to open git bash and just manually go in, you could just do cd, paste that address here, or type it if you remember it off by heart, press enter, and basically yeah, now this yellow bit's telling us that we're inside this folder, so it's almost the same as here, this yellow bit here, but we're only in Unreal Projects actually because I didn't click horror games. So you would do like this, copy address as text, make sure we've got this git bash thing open again, and we would put like cd, paste, enter, and now we're in the same place as here, same starting point. So I just wanted to show you that so you understand what's going on a little bit, because I didn't understand, because my mate was like right click here and just git bash here, and I was like, well, that's doing something different to the tutorial. Okay, so now we've got that. We've already initialized the git lfs, so we don't have to type git lfs install here. We don't have to actually do that. So you can just go git lfs track, space, little commas, uasset, little commas, enter. Tracking uasset is going to say. And then we do the same again. Git lfs track commas dot umap. Uasset is something like that's like, I think it's like your static meshes and stuff, and I think the umap's like your maps and stuff like that. And there's a few other file like things you need to track in here, but I don't know what they are, and I haven't had any issues like submitting anything yet. It hasn't come up with an error saying can't submit this because you're not tracking it. When it does that, then I'll figure it out. And then press enter on that, and it's going to say tracking umap. And now I think actually everything's there. So the first things first, guys, we will go here into your Azure and just make a quick change so we can see that it's linked that way. So we just come to this readme file here, just click on it, just click edit, just come down and just do this, and then click commit. We're going to name it changed file. Just name it something so you know, like you can see the change clearly. And then we'll just press commit here. Okay, so that's committed in commits. See, changed file, it's logged the change. So now if we come through to Git desktop, right click here and click fetch. It's going to fetch what I just changed. And now we're going to be able to see it in history. If we come to master, original main, leave those changes there, switch branch. See, changed file. That's basically just downloaded this onto my local PC now. Is here where I can see the change. And yeah. So if we come back now to master, leave changes there, whatever those changes are. Okay. So yeah. So you can see it's linked to Azure that way. So we minimize this stuff now, and we're gonna submit some changes from Unreal. Let's get GitHub desktop open here on the side. So now, if we come down here to the bottom right of your Unreal project, let's make a change first actually so you can see. So we'll just add like a character. We'll call him Killer for like one character, and we'll add another character called Survivor. And we'll save those changes so it picks it up in a revision control. Submit content. It's going to come up and we're going to say we added 2 characters. That's what we're going to say. We added 2 characters. Submit. Committed to the master. And now in GitHub desktop, in the master history, we added 2 characters just now. And if we click on it, the uasset thing that we just tracked down here in this bullshit, which don't even make sense, all of a sudden is now making sense. You see, uasset, this is what we just tracked. If we didn't do this and press submit, it's going to come up saying can't submit it for some reason. This is the reason why it can't submit it. Okay? So that's there. And now basically, you see how we right click here and click fetch to download it from Azure? Here, we can download changes from here. Now instead of clicking fetch, we can like push, we can publish, actually publish. We can right click, not right click, we can just publish all these changes. Because I haven't actually published them because we've got these 2 changes here. But on Azure, if we come to commits, this is all the changes that's on here, so we haven't pushed our changes through to the main thing. So where the frick was I? So now we just press publish to whatever the hell that said before I clicked it. We're going to let it load. Oh, it's done. I look down for 1 second and it's done. So now we click Azure. Press refresh. Yeah, it's saying something there. So if we go to repos, you updated master. So where is the master? Branches, master. Okay, here it is. So I just updated the master. I'm not 100% sure what these pull requests are yet. I think this is for like someone else who's in here wants to download the changes, you know what I mean, and they can put in a request and I can approve it or say bounce, you're not having my changes. So basically guys, it's worked. So the commits here you can see. Now when you're in certain things like this, like you know I was in here before, I couldn't see what changes I just made. It just said what I said and it said this here. That's because up here in all the different sections you have to like choose what branch you're in. So you might be like, oh, I'm doing it and the changes ain't happening. It's because you're in the wrong branch, you know what I mean? So in the master branch, these two change, and the reason you have different branches is because you have a main game branch. Imagine that you can change the names of these branches. So you want a branch called like main game, and then development of the game, and then testing the game. So imagine you make a change, you put it into maybe the development, and then from the development you push it to the testing branch, and then from the testing branch you push it to the main game, and then you will download the main game, and that's it. That's the final version, you know what I mean? So that's basically how it works, guys. I know this video is a little bit long, but I wanted to go in depth a little bit, but not too much depth, just to help you guys out, because it was some actual bullshit setting this shit up, and it's so simple, guys, once you understand what's going on. The biggest breakthrough for me was understanding what the hell this Git file does, and the only way I figured it out was by opening Unreal side by side when I was enabling revision control and watched this file pop up in front of my eyes, and I was like, no! Yeah, me. So I hope that helped, guys. I appreciate everyone who's rolled through and watched it to this far. So yeah, leave a comment down below if there's anything you got stuck on. There's now we're at the end of the video, actually, guys. We could talk about a couple things and try and, so I don't have to make another video, you know what I mean? Because you can actually do what we just did here when you go revision control, submit content. You can do that stuff through here. So you can actually, like, you can do commands, skip this phase and push it straight to Azure. So you could do something like git commit -m. The -m is so you can put a comment like new changes, and then you can okay, so the reason it's saying that is because all the changes are up to date. So in Unreal, if I made another change, you get me, like we add another character called police officer. Now we've got that police officer. Instead of coming here and pressing submit content, because that will overwrite what we're going to do, we're just going to go git commit, then we're going to do -m added police officer. Okay, it's still saying there's no changes. That's because we didn't save it, did we? So now we're going to do it again. Git commit -m added police officer. Don't know why officers in capitals. Delete this little space here. So now, see, it's basically added or staged or copied. It's copied one file change or whatever, free insertions, whatever that means. It's copied it, ready to be uploaded to Azure. Now, I was gonna say it's popped up here. You see this, guys? It's popped up here. What we just did here, instead of us clicking submit, is now here. So you can type that and then upload it from here. Or instead of clicking here, push to origin, you can just type git push. So let's try git push. There's 3 things which we could try. Git push. This might work. This might literally work. Because there's another command called git push uorigin, which I think means push to the origin. But I think git push might do it as well. So basically now we just need to push it to the origin. So I'm not sure, but this is basically how you figure out what on earth's going on. Okay, so it's come up with some stuff, and I think it's done it. Yeah, so you see I clicked this, now I just clicked on the screen and the little arrows disappeared, and I don't have to publish it anymore because we've already published it. So now if I come down to Azure and refresh, added police officer is there. So basically by doing, instead of clicking submit down here, we did git commit with the -m, which the -m just means to add like a comment. You could just put git commit with an empty comment, and then we did git push. There's another thing called git push uorigin. Now this works without doing that, but that's probably because it already knows where the origin is. You know what I mean? So other than that, guys, I appreciate you all for tuning in. If this helped in any way, if that last bit helped a little bit, then let me know as well, because I just wanted to squeeze that in there. I was thinking of doing a second more in-depth video, but while it's fresh on my mind, then I'm glad I got this out there. So I appreciate everyone. See you guys in the next one, and we out.